what's up everybody? It's Isaac from Alchemy here with episode 13 of the Alchemy Devlog. In this episode, we're going to talk about what's new on the platform, including some really great user experience updates. We've got right-click menus in a lot of places. We've got more drag and drop stuff. We have a really cool new audio panel for adjusting audio volume in-game. And we've got PDF downloads available for marketplace creators to begin uploading PDFs of those purchases from our marketplace. So you can get a PDF copy of your game as well. We'll walk through that and more. I'll also walk you through what's coming up next on the platform, what the team is working on over the next couple of weeks. And I'll take a look at that devlog Q&A form to see what sorts of questions I can answer for you in this episode. Let's go. All right, first up, right-click menus. These are both inside and outside of the game experience. So you'll find them basically anywhere that you have a menu like this. You can also get to that now via a right-click anywhere on that card, and it'll take you to the existing things that you know and love from that menu. There's also new menus in different places. So I'll go into those here as well. And we have a few more that we'll be rolling out. We have a few more actions that we want to add to these menus in different places. Things like being able to quickly grab an embed code for one of these NPCs in a universe, for example. Normally you would have to go through and edit that NPC and then grab that embed code from this menu. We'll be bringing menus to more places soon, but it's there for the vast majority of things. And I think the most exciting of which are in-game. So let's go ahead and start a game for Devlog 13. We will do a 5th edition game and no other changes to it there. Let's start playing. So this is probably the most exciting part of this change. You can now right-click on scenes to bring up the notes for the scene, edit the scene, directly from that, instead of having to click and then go down here. This menu is still available for now. I don't know, we were considering removing it and relying entirely on right click, but there's some touch considerations for tablets and the like that we may have to deal with in the future if we choose to remove that menu. So for now, they're both available, but they should have the exact same options in both places. So you can do things like view yourself in the party panel. You can view other people in the party panel. When you have NPCs in your scene, you can right-click on them to play them very quickly and easily, show them to the players with that right-click menu, and then play them right from there, quick and easy. You can also go down and use the actions for that character via right-click as well. Things like skills and abilities if you want to make checks or saves for those. And any equipment that you have. Let's give the aboleth an abacus because that's fun to say. You can view and remove that equipment right from this menu. You don't have to dive in and get to that remove button anymore. You've also got a quick action here to view the details of a journal card. And if you're the game master for the current game, you can even delete messages from this right-click menu. Quick and easy. No longer do you have to click multiple messages or even just one, and then go up here and click that, but it still works that way if you want to. We've also got this over in the notes panel. You can edit a note from here. You can delete the note from here. Basically anything that you would expect to be able to do from this bottom floating action button menu, you should be able to do that through the right-click menu as well. Pretty exciting lift for the user experience in our opinions, and it really reduces the amount of motion that you need to use in order to do this stuff inside the game. So speeds you up a little bit. It's great. I'm going to go ahead and add my test account to this game now to show you some of the new audio features. And we'll switch over to that account and join the game. So this will enable voice and video chat. Good. This is what we need. Okay, back over on the GM side of things. So the first thing to point out is that the audio controls have moved. This voice volume button down here is now used exclusively to adjust the voice chat volume for other folks in your game. So you can save their voice volume settings there. The other settings that used to live underneath that button have moved out to a couple different places. So the first up is for audio settings. You have a new button here that's dedicated to the audio level for the current track, the music track, and then if this had an ambient soundtrack, that slider would also be available here, so you could adjust both of those. We've made this a little bit smarter while we moved it in here. It will only show sliders for tracks that are set. So if there's no audio set for the scene, it's not going to show you that setting at all. So let's go ahead and use our fancy new right click to play this new scene. And you can see that the audio settings button is disabled because there's no audio for this scene. The third thing that we've moved out from this voice volume setting is the ability to enable or disable motion. That used to be in here and it really didn't make sense for it to be there. So we've moved it out into the settings gear at the bottom of your game window. It's this enable motion option here. You just click that to enable motion. That'll apply to your current browser or application, and any games you join from then on will have motion enabled or disabled, just like it worked before, but now it's just in a new spot. So you can quickly enable or disable it there without it being off in some weird spot. So nice cleanup of those audio sliders. And we have some really cool stuff planned for this that I'm really excited to show you all here in another few weeks, maybe a little longer. We'll see. All right, let's get into those drag and drop updates that I talked about. First up, let's create a character for this other player in the game. And pop open Devloggy Boy's character sheet. Over here on the equipment tab, by the way, that was a keyboard shortcut to begin editing. Control E or Command E. Actually, I think it's Control Shift E on Windows is what triggers editing, but it's Command E on Mac to get in there quickly and edit whatever you're looking at, if you have the permissions, of course. So over here on the equipment tab, let's add a few pieces of gear for Devloggy Boy. We'll give him these exciting pieces here. And then over here in the equipment tab, we can see the Abacus, Acid Vial, and Alchemist's Fire Flask. If we bring up that character sheet and enter edit mode again and go over to the equipment tab, we see the same things in both places. That's a good place to start. So now what's new this week is these can be reordered on the character sheet itself. So you could take the Abacus and move it to the middle and it will move it down. You could take the Alchemist's Fire Flask and move it up and just rearrange things to your heart's desire. It looks like there was a little bit of staleness here with that panel. So that might be a bug we need to address this week. Let's take a look again. We've got, okay, now they're in the same order. Let's try moving that flask up to the top. Okay, there we go. Might have been a fluke, maybe not. We will definitely look into it. But the gist of it is you can now rearrange your character's equipment from your character sheet outside of the game experience. Even if you wanted to do this from your library, you would be able to do that as well. So let's go over to my test account and take a look at my character library. I've got Devloggy Boy here. Let's open edit mode, equipment, and yeah, these can be moved outside the game experience as well. This probably applies in universe too. I'm sure it's the same component everywhere. So you can do this to your pre-mades for 5e universes that have equipment, or probably even custom game universes that have equipment as well. So nice drag and drop for those. Back over here in the game experience, we've got drag and drop movable NPCs. I'll show you what that means. Let's add a couple of NPCs to this scene. Of course, we're going to go with the Aboleth. Always got to do the Aboleth. And a Chul, and let's add something that's a little smaller, like, let's do a Badger. Badgers are cool. Okay, now that we've got those in our scene, you can click and drag and drop to reorder those within the hidden section. And here's my favorite part. You can also move those from hidden up into shown and make that NPC shown just by drag and drop. And we'll switch over to my player account to take a look at the NPCs panel. And sure enough, there's our Chul that the GM rather showed. So we can move those in and even rearrange them by dropping, for example, the aboleth above the tool, and that will persist that order for both the GM and any connected players in the game as well. So you can see those over here on my player test account. And of course, you can take these and make them hidden again by dragging them back into the hidden section. And sure enough, it's gone from the player side. So very excited to be able to move these around and quickly rearrange NPCs in the NPCs panel. I'd like to point out that this does not yet apply to the initiative panel. So if you roll initiative, you're in the initiative order. You've got a set initiative order here. The Badger rolled a 17, the Aboleth set an 8, and the Chul's at a 7. These are not drag and drop reorderable yet, but that's coming up next. We'll be working on that. And that will drive into the ability to create custom game initiative. So you'll have just a list of those NPCs that you can drag and drop to move them around and move through that initiative order for custom games. So really excited to bring that over to custom games soon too. While this isn't exactly drag and drop, we have another kind of related feature that's new in this last week or two that I'm excited to show you here. We'll use those fancy new right-click menus again, and when I click the token action, instead of my token being just kind of dropped wherever willy-nilly on that map, we've now got the ability to move it wherever you'd like. So it's attached to your cursor. You can bring it in and drop it there. We could put a token for the aboleth out here. It obeys the snap to grid rules if those are enabled. So right now that is, if there's a grid, you snap to it. If there's not a grid, we don't snap, so we can freely place this tool wherever we want now, just like that. And if you were to do this from this bottom menu, it works there as well, of course. So nice, quick way to get tokens out there without being confused about where they are. I think we're also going to add a toast notification down here that says to click to drop that. I forgot to do that this week, but we'll get to that. Okay, let's head out of the game experience and take a look at those PDF download capabilities. Actually, this account can't do it. So let me switch to one of my creator accounts here. I'm going to go to my local host and show you from there. Wow, look at this old backdrop. I love having this one on my local dev database because it's one of my favorites. I love this artwork, and Pirate Borg is great. So I get to look at this in my dev environment all the time. Okay, let's take a look at how this works for creators. When you have a universe, you have a module inside of that. You can use the right-click menu here to go and edit this module. If you have a creator account, you'll see a bunch of new fields. Most of you won't see these fields, but the one that we're worried about here, or not necessarily worried about, I don't think, is this upload button for a PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and select a PDF here from my machine. There it is. And now this PDF is attached to this module. I'm actually going to rename this as a little bit of a spoiler for what that PDF is. Old school Lore of Aethera fans might recognize the title. Clicking on this field will remove the PDF, but that's not what we want to do here. We want to save it. Okay, so now that I've attached my PDF here, all I need to do is right-click and I can download the PDF from that module. I can do this both on my creator account. So we'll bring that open here on my browser. There it is. It was in my downloads folder. We've got Lore of Aethera, The Curious Case of the Seaside Sanatorium. This was a Halloween special we did a couple years ago that is no longer available anywhere. So if you have this, you're pretty cool. And of course, if you were a not a creator, you would be able to access this download PDF button if a PDF had been uploaded for the module that you're downloading. So I think this is possibly available for Lore of Aethera now. If it's not, I'll probably just go do that real quick. So by the time you're watching this, you should be able to download Lore of Aethera PDF from there and expect it to roll out to more things soon. Buy it on Alchemy, get the PDF, get the digital stuff, download it, use it wherever. That's kind of our thing. But of course, we want to respect the creators. Okay, let's take a moment to look at what's coming up next. So let's check in on that roadmap in the app. So some of the things that we're working on, right-click action menus, this is going to be done today. I have a few more that I'm going to add to different places. And we've got drag and drop reordering in progress still. As mentioned before, we'll be doing some more updates to that, including the ability to drag and drop that sort order within the encounter panel when you're in an encounter, when you're in initiative mode for a 5e game, or when we bring initiative mode to custom games. That's going to be drag and drop reordering for initiative as well. We've also got a really cool new lobby screen that Dakota is working on that will let you check your voice and video settings before you join a game. So you can make sure you're using the right camera, the right mic, make sure you're ready to jump in there before just being thrown in. So a nice little user experience upgrade there, and it looks really awesome. So I'm very excited for that one to get out there. Also be doing snap to hex grids very soon. I should be getting to that in the next week or so. We have a really cool new way to browse motion overlays coming. You won't have to just pick from a text list. It'll be much more visual, a lot like how you pick an asset from your library or from the connected universes for a scene background. And there might be some quick movements coming to that in the future as well. We're also going to upload our content roadmap here, so you can see another roadmap tab, probably in this form, I believe, another tab for the content that's coming. Things like Kids on Bikes, and Vampire, and Call of Cthulhu, and Pathfinder, and all the stuff that we promised for V1. When's that coming? We'll have that roadmap for the content available here as well. And we also have a really big UI update for spectator mode, bringing that a little bit closer to what we envisioned for spectator mode in V1. Can't wait to get that out there. Okay, let's take a look at Q&A for this week. We'll head over to that Devlog Q&A universe. Let's create a new article for Devlog 13. And we've got this question here. Hello, Isaac. While the ability to manage music, ambience, combat music, and combat ambience has been brilliant, nuanced audio changes are difficult to strive for in Alchemy as there's little manual option for it. Is there any chance we'll see additional audio settings for music and audio that might allow us to have more options at our disposal in the future? For example, an array of tracks at the ready for unexpected emotional beats, specific scenarios where the location theme is inapplicable that can overwrite the present scene music, a battle phase 2 change, or even something such as a day-night theme per scene. The ability to fiddle with music is, at this moment, limited exclusively to what scene we're on, and the existing 4 parameters those are locked into. Is there any possibility for those with the inclination to have something akin to a music dock or audio panel, or a wider array of options per scene in the future? Wow, what a great question. What a great question. This is from Pandy. I forgot to bring that in. Thank you, Pandy, very much for the question. Yes. So for V1, we have one really big thing planned, the ability to sort of mix together different tracks. That's going to be part of our Alchemy Enhanced titles. Really excited to show you all what we have planned for that. But other than that, we don't have anything massive planned for V1. Right now, the way that you would handle this is through different scenes. So anytime you want more than what we offer in a scene, create another scene, even if it's, a copy of that other scene. You can move NPCs into that scene and have them be in both scenes and do pretty much everything you would need to do to have 2 copies of that scene, but with changes to the music. And there are some situations where that's sort of undesirable. For example, long combat encounters, that may not work so well. But I think that's probably the best tool you'll have for the launch of V1 to manage audio like that. I think post V1, we will take a look at different ways to make multiple tracks work for scenes and give you all the tools. We'll use this as inspiration for what to build post V1. I'm sure we'll take a look at this again and bring some cool new stuff there, but not sure what we'll do today, or not sure what the future holds, I should say, but we'll definitely do some cool stuff. Thank you for the awesome question and for the awesome food for our thoughts. All right, that about does it for this episode of the Alchemy Devlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, head on down below, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, listen in to future updates here on our YouTube channel. We've also got that questions and answers form down there at the bottom. If you have a question for a future episode, go ahead and send that in on that form, and I will read through it and give you an answer on the devlog in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Now let's go play some games.